absolute beautiful day here.
We're around 8. Got 3 weeks. Get done here. Let's start today, making sure we do what we got to do.
All right, buddy. Have a good night out there. Keep it tight down these corners. You'll be fine.
Green flag is in the air. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
But man, Toaster is putting up quite the battle out here.
Still down there. Gonna do you like that. You remember it's still down there.
And you can just see how well
Our clear up.
Toaster gets up into Jose just a little bit. They hang on to it, J-Mac. These guys are very, very strong tonight.
Right there, and then when I was looking back earlier, I was trying to figure out if
Gotta be clean.
Doha gets wrecked. That is going to make him lose the lead, I do believe, as this is the final lap. Jose is your new leader here.
Everybody work both lanes here. They're pulling the air real hard here.
We have the 34 going in the middle. We have the 41 on the low side.
Take advantage of this as quickly as possible.
Got no one with him at the moment. Absolutely incredible. Dohar's got a nose out, and he's got some draft help. Garbage takes the stage win. Dohar in second. You can see Sterlu right now coming up on, whoa!
Okay.
Sterlu, I would have just saw my life flash before my eyes. That was extremely close as we had a car headed into pit road. We have contact. Rocky Top barely misses.
Big wreck in your mirror.
There is a wreck in the back. That might bring out the caution.
One's coming to your bumpers.
Oh wow, that is. Oh no, that's 4 wide now.
That was 4 wide.
This is just insane. This finish. Trying to push up in between the 14. They're 4 wide per second. They're wrecking. They're about to wipe out.
Oh, look at this. We have Dohar. These guys are almost 5 wide. We have the Bolt hanging on to it.
Still there. Stay with it. Wreck him if you have to.
Oh, huge, huge pile up. We have, man, cars just spinning. We have the 24 Jose. He is involved. Everyone has completely lost their minds as I'm hearing over the radio.
The only way we're going to make any progress here is if we work together. Nobody's wanting to work together.
Incredible right there. Your braking point or your let-off point. You're going to have what's happened here in Dohar. Oh. Huge, huge accident.
Well, that should do it. It's jump. I'm shattering the rears everywhere, all the way around the corner. Jimmy, green white checker finish here. Give those belts a tug. You're ready to go.
We're going to see if he crosses the line out here in one piece.
Checkered flag in the air.
Yeah! Hey, you get a plus. Hell yeah, boys!
Man, you did a heck of a job in there. I couldn't be more proud of what you did this weekend.
Good job. All night, man.
You never know what you're going to get here. This shows it once again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the penultimate race of AKA's winter season here at Homestead Miami Speedway. There are 9 playoff contenders. They will be competing out here in hopes of securing a spot in the final 5 for the championship race at Daytona next week. The pressure is on for these guys and for some, the hopes of moving on in tonight. But before we get to the race tonight, we have to get in contact with our driver spotlight. So let's give a warm welcome to our driver spotlights. Wonder, who pilots number 14. He is 12th in points with 597. We also have Little Wing, who drives the 21 car. He's 16th in points with 227. And Johnny Rocket, who pilots the number 51 car. He is 20th with 184 points. What's up, guys? How are ya?
Doing good.
Glad to hear.
Excellent. Glad to be here.
Yes. Absolutely. This is the penultimate race. We only have one race after this, so I gotta ask, first of all, how has the season so far for you guys?
Well,
has it been crazy or fun or what?
I mean,
I'm throwing
it's
that
always
one in.
fun, but it's
it's all yeah.
Yeah, there's ups and downs, but it's always a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's always fun to be a part of it.
Absolutely. All right, well, we'll get started with the questions. For the first question, we'll start with Wonder. How many seasons or years have you been racing for AKA? And how have you grown as a driver since the start of racing in general?
Well, I've probably been around with AKA a good 3.5 years or so. enjoyed just about every race I've ever been in with the guys. It's a good group of guys to race with. How have I grown? Pretty much. Yeah, I think you have to. It has to be a lot of commitment to a race. I think at this level with these guys, it takes a lot of time, track time, practice time.
So true.
To be competitive on a weekly basis with all these guys for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. I know I've known you since at least 2014, and we've raced for a while on here. So it's really cool to see how much you've grown and see what you're able to do out there. It's been really cool to see that.
Yeah, I have haven't been able to give it my everything. I've changed jobs and I'm working like 1 to 9:30 every day, and it seems like when I get home from work, everybody's just about ready to sign off and go to bed. So
Right.
it's been kind of challenging. My window's kind of narrow to race with the guys. I do a lot of practice on my own, but
Yeah.
You really need to be in there on a nightly basis to see what your competition's doing, you know.
That's true. Well, hopefully we'll see a great car from you out there tonight. Little Wing, I got to ask you, so how many seasons have you been racing for AKA, and how have you grown as a driver since the start?
I would have to say I came in around the same time as Wonder. Wonder came in before me. I would say close to 3.5, almost 4 years.
Nice.
I would say I've grown a lot as trying to be a great amateur, like sim racer, league racer online. I've been in a lot of leagues throughout my 8 years of racing online, and AKA is probably the best league that I have ever been a part of, and it is the longest, membership I've ever, had with the league. So
Right.
I feel very welcomed, and yeah, it's been very fun. I feel like I have grown a ton, like racing with everyone, and it's fun making new friends along the way as well.
Absolutely. That's awesome. All right, Johnny Rocket, how about you? How many seasons have you been racing for AKA, and how have you grown?
Well, I go back to NASCAR 09, and then
Nice.
After that hiatus went, we still used to race, or we still used to play on Xbox after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess probably somewhere around 2010, 2011, my job transition. I went from nights to days and kind of faded into the backdrop there for a good while, and really didn't keep up with a whole lot. Like Wonder alluded to with the some of the attempts with I guess it was 2011 and how bad that was, and
Right.
Just didn't have the time to put into it then, and finally came back in NASCAR, Heat 2, and then got back online with Heat 3. And as growing, I'd say probably just as the game has gotten, I would say it's just continued to grow harder.
Yeah.
Amen.
I've had to put more into it, and finally, I think with this one, you have to understand, what every little thing you're doing to the car, what it does, and how it reacts, if you want to be good at it. So
It's a very good point, especially with the esports coming out. So there's a lot more competition, and a lot of these guys are just going hardcore on it. So you really do have to step up your game, even if you are not even interested in the esports. So many are, so they're getting a lot better just from working on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll start with Johnny Rocket for the next one, but who do you see as your biggest competition out there?
Oh, I'd have to say myself.
That's a very good answer.
I mean, seriously. I've got to. I mean, seriously, because I'm still learning. I mean, from because I think the progression was like, okay, it was like from 2 to 3, and then it went from like 3 to 4. It was just like a huge curveball, and it was like, it was almost like you're restarting again. And so I feel like until I get myself, to where I feel like I'm at my best, and I still don't think I'm there. I mean, I think I'm decent. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so
It's a good
that's
answer.
that's my biggest, obstacles myself. So.
Right. All right, Little Wing. How about you? Who is your biggest competition out there?
Well, to be honest, anyone who would be on the racetrack with me at the same time, like, I feel like, in each of our series, you could have a great side-by-side battle with anyone on the same track with you. So, really, anyone. It could be from Wonder to Garbage, Ram, Johnny, anyone. And
Right.
so, I mean, that's how I feel. I love the competition. It's very fierce, very strong.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that.
I,
Wonder,
me
how
too.
about you?
That would have to be a
Yeah.
that would have to be a ditto to Will's there.
Right.
Anybody and everybody in these races has a chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have some prominent guys that are up front all the time. Like Garbage and Tom. You see those guys up there, but I think anybody that runs with us is capable of a win.
It's true.
Sure.
It's very true. All right, Wonder, what is your favorite series to race and why?
Well, unfortunately, it is the trucks, and once again, with my work schedule and everything like that, I don't get nearly the track time that I would like. Any free time I've got, I'm usually dabbling around with the cup setup, trying to figure something out for the next Sunday evening race, because that's,
Right.
Cup is the only, according to my schedule, the only race I can run every week. But the trucks are really competitive.
Very nice.
I think in the trucks, it's more of a rhythm type of. They're luggy, and you have to really get a good rhythm to prevail there in the truck series, I think.
No, I hear that, and I feel like everyone is more equal and they're easier to set up. So it creates very close racing, which is really cool to see. All right, Little Wing, what about you? What is your favorite series to race and why?
Xfinity or trucks. I just feel like the pack racing is more intense. It's more fun. I have nothing against the Aero package or the Cup package.
Right.
And for the Cup cars, I do love racing the Cup cars. It's just I just really like the Xfinity and the Truck series so much.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys like that, so I don't blame you. I don't blame you. All right, Johnny Rocca, what about you? What is your favorite series to race?
I'd say probably the Cup Series because
Yeah.
I don't get to spend a lot of time in the Xfinity and trucks, but I know with the two, there, like he was alluding to, there is a lot of draft in those, and I just kind of like, I mean, that's always a factor, but I don't really like to be draft racing all the time, so.
Right.
So.
I hear you on that.
I think that's what I like to do.
Definitely. All right, I know you guys got to get to qualifying, so we'll just ask one more question. Who do you think will win the championship? And we'll start with Johnny Rocket.
Any of those guys are capable of winning it, but the guy who I just think is like, this year, in his life, he's had some adversity, but just from when I started, watching him and when he came on and just his demeanor and, he's just so even keeled and he's just continued to improve. It's probably Ramsden. I mean, he's just a great guy. And,
Very nice.
I just, I think he would, I think he's got what it takes to do it. They all do, but I mean, I think he's just continued to be consistent and get faster and faster.
Very cool. Well, I wish Ramsden a lot of luck out there. All right, Little Wing, who do you think will win the championship? I'm
actually going with Ramsden as well.
Ooh, very nice.
I'm not picking him just because he's my teammate, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, I agree a lot with what Johnny has said. Like he's a great competitor to race around, and like nothing against any of the other 8 guys going for this, but Ram Ram shows a lot of adversity through a bad time, and he even shows that through racing. Like he can get caught up in a wreck, get put up in the back, and he somehow comes out to finish in the top 5. I mean, he's a great restrictor plate driver as well.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I'd have to go with Ram.
Very nice. All right, Wonder, you're the last one.
Same
Who
here.
do you really? So Rams it
Same
across the
here.
board.
I'm a Ram fan all the way across.
Nice.
But,
Nice.
I think Ram's part of the old boys club. You know, we've got a few older fellas that
Mm-hmm.
participate in here, so he's one of the old boys, and hope he can get her done.
Absolutely. Well, you guys heard it from these guys, Wonder, Little Wing, and Johnny Rocket. I wish you guys a ton of luck tonight. I hope to see you after the race for the top 3. But go out there and get it done at Homestead.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
All right,
Thank you.
good luck. All right, you guys, we heard from them, but we haven't heard from J-Mac yet. J-Mac, what is up?
Oh, nothing much, Frozen. Just getting ready to watch a little racing.
Absolutely. You and we were checking them out, and tell us a little bit about what you saw during practice for them.
Really loose off the corners. That's something you got to fight here. The tires wear, the car falls off a ton, speed-wise and grip-wise, and this is a tough place to hold on and manage that stuff. So that's going to be something all of these drivers are going to be fighting. It's going to be a wild race. It's multi-grooved. You can run up high. You can run down low. You can run the middle. The middle is where a lot of people, myself included, prefer, but we were hearing pre-race that there are some guys who like to run around the bottom and a few that like to move up to the very top. So going to be a lot of options out there tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, we had guys like Element who earlier in the run, he was down low, and then later in the run, he was up high. I saw some guys late in the run that were down low. Doc, he's super fast tonight, so we're going to have to watch out for him. He seems like he's got a really good long run car, so he's someone to look out for. But let's take a look. We have the chase grid out here, and ladies and gentlemen, round 2 of the playoffs have almost concluded, as tonight is the final chance at a spot for Daytona. Those final 5 will race for the championship next week, where the championship winner will come home with a handsome trophy made by Ramsit. And as if that wasn't enough, the one and only Rock NASCAR, he's giving the championship winner a card for a year subscription to Xbox Live. You see the 9 that are fighting for it tonight. We have Element, Big John, Ramsit, Tack, Pro Boss, Doc, Garbage, MDL, and Freddy. They're all going for the big win here tonight, but only 5 will move on. So it's going to be close, guys. These guys are getting ready to go to qualifying, and I'm excited. We got to look at the points while we're at it. Let's take a look at the points here. We have Element, who is leading in the points. We have Garbage. He is 5 points behind. And there's not a lot of space in between these guys, really. Anyone can move on. Obviously, the guys lower on the bottom of the 9, they're going to have to put a lot more into it tonight to move on. But man, oh man, the finale is at Daytona, J-Mac. So really, I feel like any of those 5 that move on, anyone can win.
Yeah, the hard part is getting there. At Daytona, the odds are pretty well even, just due to the nature of the track, obviously. If you're out front, you have a little better chance, but that's a place where that greatly equalizes the field, and it just completely changed. It's a complete different style of racing than this. So tonight is the night that a lot of these guys are going to be really worried about, really nervous about. They're going to have to try to perform and move on to Daytona.
Absolutely. And tell me what you think about this. I feel like guys like Ramsit and Doc and Pro Boss and guys like that, MDL, if they move on, I feel like they might have a really good chance at winning the championship. And the guys that are better at the 1.5 miles might struggle a little bit out there. Guys like Element and Garbage, he's actually really good at super speedways. but they're not their favorites. So I feel like this really kind of flips it over on them. I don't know how you feel about that, but yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Whenever, I mean, it equalizes the playing field. It changes those percentages for a driver like a Garbage or an Element who would you think about whenever we go to these 1.5-mile tracks, the miles, the different types of tracks. But then you go to Daytona and everything becomes even. So obviously their chances are lowered, and that's something to watch out for.
Absolutely. Well, we got to talk about lap times and all the track details for tonight. We are at Homestead, guys, one of my favorite tracks, and I kind of wish I was out there. I love it out there. But anyway, the lap times for these guys. Some of these guys are running 31.4s. I think we're going to see most of these guys for a normal race. They're going to be around 31.5s and 6s. The fuel run is going to be around 20. So for stages, the first stage, we have 39 laps. They're going to have to pit. It's going to be close because we have 39 laps, but they can only get 20 in the stage. So for the fuel run, so they're going to have to save just a little bit to make sure. Second stage is not going to be such an issue when they have 37 laps to go. But the final stage, they have 58, so they're going to have to pit twice. It's going to get very interesting. And with these slick conditions coming off of 2 and 4, I think we're going to see some 2 and 3 wide, possibly a few cautions. But these guys got it, and it's going to be a crazy night. 9 are here. They all want to move on, and some of these guys, it's ending here tonight. So only 5 can move on. 4 are going to have to say goodbye.
Absolutely, and to piggyback off of what we were talking about strategy, we've seen the last few races that the first stage has gone green and has turned into a bit of a strategy race where multiple drivers end up a lap down. A good chunk of the field is put at a deficit. So that's something to watch out for tonight if the first stage does turn into a little bit of strategy. As it works out, obviously with yellows it changes, but it doesn't seem like with the math that the second and third stage will be a strategy stage. So that one's just going to be a pure sprint. Obviously some drivers might stay out maybe a lap or 2 later to try to get that tire advantage that is huge here. The times fall off so badly. The wear is so prominent. This is a place where you take every little bit of advantage you can because it'll mean a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And for those guys out in chat, I just want to thank you so much for coming. We have Rock NASCAR, who is always here supporting everyone. He says hello to everyone in the booth and good luck to all the drivers. Best of luck to the top 9. I'm curious I'm curious how hard the guys that are not in the top 9 are going to race these guys tonight. I mean, they can still go out and get wins. We have Tom Flitty, who easily could have been out here in the top 9, but he lagged out of a race. So I feel like some of these guys are just going to go for the win either way. But it's going to make it very interesting to see who is going to get that win. J-Mac, nobody's locked in for next week. There hasn't been one of the 9 playoff contenders. None of them have won a race yet to lock themselves in, so it's going to be kind of crazy out here.
Yep, absolutely crazy. And watching him practice earlier, Tom, that one of those drivers out is really, really fast. Him and Element battle back and forth. So yeah, he's always quick. So that's going to be a fun. That's going to be a fun battle to watch. And those are 2 guys that would be on my short list to pick to win this race.
I hear ya. I have a couple of favorites. If you guys want to announce your favorites in there, Dohar already says Tom Flitty for the win. He is a very strong driver. The guy puts everything he has into his racing. Really good guy, really great racer. So if you have a favorite, let us know in chat. I gotta see who you guys are picking because it's really anyone's race. But only 5 can move on for next week. This is the penultimate race, and it's gonna get crazy tonight. We've said it, but qualifying is over, so we should be getting to the race pretty soon. Ranger says Tom is wrecking the whole field. Now, don't jinx him. Don't jinx him. We don't want any of that. J-Mac is going to win. J-Mac for the win. He's got the win in the booth. Dude's awesome.
I try.
If you couldn't pick Tom, okay, if you had to pick the top 5 that are moving on to next week, I'm putting you on the spot. Who are you picking?
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't have the standings directly in front of me, but I think Element being the points leader and one of the faster drivers out there, I think at this track, I would pick him for sure. And then, goodness, after that,
it's Garbage. We got Big John,
Garbage and Big John are 2 drivers that I would think of. Big John was really quick here in the East Park race a couple of weeks ago. Garbage is fast everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just it depends on whether or not he can stay up in the front. If he's one of those drivers that he's so quick, but if he has an issue, things kind of snowball out of control for him. So that's something to watch out for tonight. If he can just have a good, clean race, then he should be perfectly fine moving on.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And speaking of TomTom, we have TomTom and Element on the front row. I'm not really surprised. So it's going to be fast. It's going to be crazy. I'm curious. I bet Wow is going to be directly behind him if he is indeed racing tonight. So hopefully we get that invite soon. But man, you guys, I am super excited tonight. Daytona is going to be even crazier. I guarantee it. It's just, I was very surprised that they chose Daytona as the final race. It really changes things up, and it's going to make things very interesting to try to get it. I know, like I said earlier, guys like Element and a couple of those guys out there, they're not huge fans of super speedways. So, it's going to make things interesting for those guys also. We have Mystic Mac, who just followed. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy that race tonight. Kid Tubby says, have a safe race, everyone. Tom is wrecking the whole field. I saw that earlier. You guys are crazy. Here we go, over to Homestead Miami Speedway. Getting ready to go out here. We have a TomTom and Element on the front row. Garbage did not qualify. He is going to start in the back in 24th. So he is going to have to make his way through the crowd up here to get himself a win tonight.
So that's going to be fun. He's starting behind the 8 ball right off the start. Unless he's going to try some really aggressive fuel strategy. This is the stage to do it, this first stage. That might be the plan. Maybe he just doesn't want to be up front and he wants to just ride out this stage. But that'll be interesting to watch what he does, how aggressive he is trying to move through the field.
Absolutely. Why am I seeing a couple of cars on pit road? That was weird. All right, here we go. Homestead Miami Speedway. These guys are off to the start. We have TomTom Flitty on the inside. We have Element. He's out there on the outside. These guys looking pretty good so far, all the way back. Too wide. I have a feeling, J-Mac, that these first several laps, probably the first stage even, that these guys are really just going to get a feel for the cars and how it's going to react around the guys, the other drivers, because coming off of 2 and 4, we've talked about it, it can get pretty slick, so they're just going to have to take it easy this stage.
It can get pretty slick, but this is a very tough track to pass at. It's multi-grooved, and one thing I've noticed is that it's very easy for even cars to get kind of stuck 2 by 2 by 2, and there not be really anywhere to go. So this is you can tiptoe around for a little bit, but you have to be aggressive and take opportunities, take positions whenever you can, because it later in the race when everyone is trying and there's no give and everyone's going for everything, it is actually really, really difficult to make any sort of move here.
Absolutely. It's like you said, it is difficult to make a move, and if you're going side by side with somebody and your car cannot yeah, we have Element up there who is trying to go for the lead, and he is already passing TomTom Flitty. Let's take a look if we can get up there with him. These guys are still side by side. Element has a little bit of a nose, but we have TomTom on the inside. He's going to have a great run going in, but can he hold it as Element has a great run on the outside and a little bit of draft help?
Ooh, the 8 already looks just a little bit loose. Tom, known for having cars that hang out that rear end a little bit, so that's something to watch down there on that inside. Really, really tough to keep the grip. and especially when you're sliding up off the corner and you're going over that little transition in the banking, it really makes it difficult to hold on to the rear of the car. And when you're Tom and you have a really loose setup, that makes it even more difficult. So right now, Element's out there. I think he's just going to let Element go, and that 38 looks really good right now.
He does, I'll tell you what. And he is putting a little bit of a gap between him and TomTom. TomTom's not letting him get away, though, but these guys are starting to get spread out just a little bit. So far, looking pretty good, J-Mac.
Looking really good. Right, these front four kind of starting to pull away. That 0-0 of Proboss in fifth, kind of all by his lonesome as he overdrives 3 and 4 just a little bit, slides up the track. Like, this is one place where it's a really weird, because the banking, it'll grab you. Like, you feel like you're headed straight to the wall. You can actually get on the throttle a little bit earlier than it feels like, because the banking just kind of yanks you. Of course, that's also what causes that loose condition that can really bite you, especially later in the run. So there's a little bit of margin for error in these early parts of the run whenever the car has a lot of grip in it.
Absolutely. You're totally right, because when you come off the turns, it can grab you and pull you to the wall. And yeah, I saw that. He did have a little bit of a kiss with the wall there. Didn't seem to hurt him too much, but man, oh man, it's going to get very interesting, guys. This is the very beginning of the race. These guys still have a ton of grip as long as they made their setup stable. But once we get some laps on there and the grip goes away, we're going to see guys really dive it down low in the track from getting loose, and they're going to have to make their way back up as cleanly as possible.
These front four are really hooked up here to start this race. The 19 of Tack, we haven't mentioned him yet. He's settled into third place, looking really good, just barely in their draft head. And we have a battle for the lead, Frozen.
Let's take a look back. These guys are side by side once again. Element just a little bit of a nose out still. But TomTom, he is not going to let that one go. He's going to dive that down low, see if he can get a run on him. He's got the draft help behind him, but the high side, you get such a beautiful run out there that Element is going to take it back over, but these guys are going to remain side by side. What an amazing battle for the lead here.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, like I said, the it almost grabs you, it almost helps you hook that banking, but it creates a little bit of looseness, and you can feel really good about yourself when you're ginning up that run, and then you have to lift, or else you're gonna wreck the guy, yourself, and the driver underneath you. And Tom has a very good car to be hanging with that 38 as he is. He got a little bit of loose, maybe cooled down the tires a little bit, got settled in, got back into a rhythm, and now without really any help on exit, not able to use all of the track that he needs to use, doing a fine job holding side by side with that 38. That 8 car really good, not quite good enough to clear that 38 of Element yet, but just a really good race. But that's allowing the 19. He's slowly creeping into the picture. He's liking this side by side. This gives him 2 options to draft with. He can draft with the 38 down the straightaway, he can get behind the 8 and get some pull in the corners. Now there's single file, and he doesn't like that as much.
I was thinking the same thing, J-Mac. With these guys racing side by side, that is allowing Tack and Ramsett to catch back up to them. And look, here they come. Earlier, I don't know if you guys caught it in the chat, but I saw Ramsett get a little loose coming off that turn earlier. He is managing to hold on to it, but man, he's got a lot of laps left to put on there. But this race for the lead is absolutely incredible. How many laps so far side by side? To be able to hold that on the inside, I'll tell you what, it is super hard. That outside gets such a huge run coming off the turn, but Element, he's like, nope. I'm driving this whole track once again. He likes that low side. You'll see him stay up there later on the run, but right now the fastest side is to use the entire track.
It is, and that's kind of the thing with that 8 car about how good it is. The 38 hanging out up top, it's a little more predictable. He's running in that same area banking, but there isn't a lot of transition there. He knows what the car's going to do. The 8's going down below the end of the part of the track with less banking. He's going across that transition that bites so many drivers, and he's sliding up just a little bit over, and you can see him get a little bit of loose as he does that. But that's just that's how good that car is, that he's able to maintain speed and maintain control. Doing that, I don't think he's gonna try the slide job, or is he gonna try to clear him?
He's gonna try it, and it doesn't work. He had to back out of it. Very, very close there. He might have gotten a little loose as he's trying to make his way up. I bet Element was like, no, don't do it. But they managed to hang on to it. We have Attack giving TomTom that draft help that he so desperately needs to make it past him. He made it out front one time directly in front of him with a slide job, but he's gonna try it again, I guarantee you. 25 to go on the first stage here, and these guys are still side by side, and that is allowing these guys in the back to hopefully catch up to him. But I'll tell you what, J-Mac, they are pretty far behind. Ramsett is doing all he can to hang on to it. We'll see if he is able to hang on to it, but man, it is close. Everyone in the booth tonight that was for the driver spotlight, they want this guy to win the championship, so let's see what can happen.
He seems to be a very popular choice amongst his peers, but that's got to be kind of disheartening for the rest of this field. Even this 19 car, maybe he's holding a little bit back, just trying to see who wins this race. But these two up front are driving side by side and pulling away from the field. So that's a tough one if you're one of those, if you're Ramsett, or if you're in one of those drivers in that group of three that's from 5th to 7th. If you're one of those guys. That's got to be really disheartening to watch two drivers duking it out and still putting down faster lap times than you.
Absolutely. Ethan says, how long is this race? It is 50% 3 times wear. So yeah, it's a little bit long out here. We have 39 laps for the stage 1, 37 for stage 2, and 58 for the final part of the race. And I'll tell you what, it's been so exciting. If this is stage 1, imagine what the finish for this race is going to be like. These guys are already, they're coming up on the cars that they're getting ready to lap here. This is how fast these guys are. I don't know if there was something that happened to these back guys. Tack getting a little loose off of turn 4. I don't know if you caught that, J-Mac, but man, oh man, nice save on his part. Let's take a look at this battle back here for 5th place. 4 cars out here. We have Pro Boss, we have Big John, we have Jose, we have Rocky Top. These guys are crazy back here. Look at this. Oh! Rocky Top has a little bit of contact with Pro Boss and goes off of the track. He manages to save it, but he is off the track. We're watching Big John at the moment, and you can see he's got the field directly in front of him.
Leaders are coming to pit road, Frozen, just to let you know.
All right, let's take a look at him. This is a place that is super hard to get onto pit road very cleanly. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people hit those barrels as they try to come into pit road. Do I see somebody wreck back there, or are they all okay? 14.
I think everyone's, for the most part, okay, maybe.
I saw the 14 of Wonder. Yeah, he was off on the side, and we have cars on top of cars right now. Oh, my goodness. The 47.
Are you seeing that as well? Oh, the
yes.
51.
20 is wrecked out on pit road. This is insane. That can be devastating to a race for these guys. We have Jose. We have Big John coming in. They get on okay. We have Ramsett in. So many guys are taking on for pit road. Man, a close call for one of those drivers as they narrowly miss the barrels coming in.
It seems like the 20 of Rocky Top did legitimately get kind of beat around there, losing a lot of time to the drivers that he came onto pit road simultaneously with. That's just really unfortunate that would happen. It's just one of those things with the game, yeah, that just hasn't quite been bugged out yet, that hopefully will be in the future.
Absolutely. Inkindler says, I constantly hit the barrels. I'm not gonna lie, I've hit him a few times. Cozy, what's up? How are you guys? Look at this lead that Element has coming out of pit road in front of TomTom. A nice lead out here for him. His pit crew is on it tonight. Let's go back and take a look at Garbage. He has not pit yet, so we're gonna find out how he does. I'm not sure his exact position. Maybe we can find that out, but it's really hard to do. The 6 is the leader right now, as he has not pitted. So we're gonna see what he can do. He's doing a great job saving out there right now.
And this is a place where it's a little more difficult without the draft and running by yourself, but you can run a very aggressive gearing to save some fuel, to run hard and still save fuel. That's a strategy that a few of us used in the pro league, and that ended up working out in our favor for good spots, and it's one that we used a couple of weeks ago. So this is a place where you can be very aggressive, but now he's hit pit road.
Garbage is on pit road, and Element is out here making his way past a lap car. We have Tom Flitty going by him. That is the 21, and that is Little Wing. We saw him in the booth tonight. We have DK Soto says, let's go Element. We got a fan out here for him. We have Squatch Vader, who just followed. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying the race. We're out here with second place right now. That is Tom Flitty. This guy just missed the cutoff for the final 9. He lagged out of a race, and that took his hopes for a championship out the door. We have Element, who's in front of him as the leader. He is also leading the points. He has a very good shot of making it out here. Something drastic would have to happen, J-Mac, I would imagine, for Element to not make it.
Would, and it's worth noting, he has not won an AKA league race yet. He
hasn't.
He has somehow not won one of these as quick as he's been week in and week out, and he looks ripe to end that streak and put his name on the winners list by the end of this thing.
Absolutely. We're on board with TAC 32-33. He's in that 19, and it looks like Tom got a little loose coming off that corner, guys.
He's pushing really hard to run that 38 down.
Absolutely, but TAC is currently sitting in third. Kind of equal spacing between these guys, but man, Tom, J-Mac is right. He's really pushing it, trying to get up there. We're going to see what he can do, but let's find out. We have Rocky Top off the road, off the access road. Let's take a look. I want to try to find Ramsit. You see Ramsit right next to Big John. He lost a lot of time on pit road. He is racing side by side with Big John. Looks like that's going to be for 4th place, if I'm not mistaken. Great battle between these two, but man, it's something that Ramsit doesn't want to see. He's got to make his way back up there.
Yeah, Big John putting himself in position to get some good points. I don't think 3rd place is I don't think he has enough time to run down TAC, but he's set himself apart from this group that he's been racing with the whole race. This group of 3, and he's run down the 2 car, and now it looks like he'll be in a good position to benefit from the caution flag for the end of the stage. That's what he wants. It's what he needs. He'll be up there amongst those top 3 that are pulled away, and we'll get to see what he's able to do.
We have 12 laps to go, and we are on board with AKA Pro Boss. This is his league right here, Cup Series. He is back here trying to make his way around these guys. These guys are racing very clean, though. I'm not going to lie. With how slick the conditions are out here tonight, I thought for sure we would see perhaps a caution by now, simply for the fact that all these guys are going for a championship. But man, oh man, this race has been super clean and really good racing. Side-by-side battles for the lead and throughout the field. They're doing a great job. I want to try to find Garbage out here. We saw him start dead last. He is, I do believe, 2nd in points, though. And I'll tell you what, guys, stage points matter. If you cannot get in on a win, you gotta get in on those stage points. That's gonna help you out, and it's gonna pad those points for you and hopefully get you in if you have a good finish on top. So we're gonna see what these guys can do, but Garbage is out here way back in the field. We're gonna find out what he can do as the race moves on.
He's on many laps fresher tires, so he should be able to work his way through the field here if he's running aggressively and not trying to save still. But very deep in the field, hadn't made quite the progress that I think he could. But that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. This place not the easiest to work your way through the field. It's really tough to pass. So that's coming to fruition here as he's still stuck kind of mid-pack.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's one of those places that are hard to pass. I find that I'm okay if I'm out front, but if I'm with a lot of traffic, it is so hard to pass. Sometimes you just got to get that patience and hang back and wait to make your move, plan it out. And that's what some of these guys are going to have to do. We saw Tom Tom earlier battle it out with Element, and they were side by side for so many laps. And you can really get stuck doing that here. It just side by side happens quite a bit out here. We have Tack getting a little loose coming off that turn as we hit 8 to go. He manages to save it, but that's going to cost him a little bit of time there. J-Mac, I gotta ask, do you think Tom Tom is going to be able to catch Element?
Don't think he has enough time right now. I feel like he has a little better of a car. I just think he's pushing a little bit hard. He makes a little bit of ground, makes up a little bit of ground, and then has just a little bit of slip and kind of gives it back. I think the 8 is perfectly fine speed-wise. It's just track position-wise as far as the stage goes. I don't really see him having enough time to run down that 38. As good as the 38 is, as equal as these two cars are.
You know, and we got to talk about Tack. He has 2 wins, the second most in this league. Garbage, he's got 3 wins, so he has the most. And then Tack went out there and he won Eldora, and then he won Mid-Ohio, and he's out here currently in 3rd at Homestead. He's got a great shot at a win tonight if he can make his way up there and keep competing with them. But he's got a strong car tonight. But Element and Tom Tom, cream of the crop right here. They're going to have a ton of battles throughout tonight. And if we can get Garbage up there, I guarantee he's going to be in the mix.
Guarantee it. But going back to 4th place, that 2-car of Ramsett made his way back around the 47 of Big John. So a little change of that position inside of our top 5 over the last few laps. The 2 is up to 4th, the 47 is in 5th, and doesn't look like Big John really pushing the issue right now, maybe trying to see if they can draft together a little bit, work together to try to run down that 19 car before the stage ends.
Stage ends in 5 laps, so if these guys want to make something happen, they have to do it soon. Ramsett making his way past Big John, as J-Mac says. That's going to help him out in points, and the only guy who is not in the playoffs at the moment is Tom Tom. So these points are very crucial to these guys. They have to get them. It's going to help them out because if they don't get that win tonight, they need the points. Let's take a look at our leader and second place. Tom Tom, I feel like he's fallen back quite a bit, J-Mac. I was just on Ramsett and Big John, and I feel like he has really fallen off quite a bit.
Probably just got loose trying to push it. Looked really high off of turn 4 that time.
Yeah,
the 19 I jumped onto him and he looked loose coming off of 4. These drivers really pushing hard. I think the 19 saw an opportunity there to get around the 8 to maybe get another point here before the stage ends, and he about wrecked it. And that's going to give the 2 and the 47 a little bit of an opportunity, but it looks like they've fallen off maybe a little bit. So everybody just driving really hard, I think, before the stage ends for them.
Yeah, I want to take a look at Element up here, see how he's going as we hit 2 to go. If he can hold on to it, he's going to get the stage win, and that is much needed for him. Great points padding, so we'll see what he can do for the stage. And like J-Mac said, he has yet to win a race. Will tonight be it? Will he get his win at Homestead and lock himself in to Daytona? And I can also tell you that he is not the biggest fan of Daytona. So it's going to be very interesting on how he does there. Very good driver there. It's just not one of his favorites. Denny Hall, what's up, guys? Hope you're enjoying the race. These guys are
something wrong
insane.
with the 19. The 19 is running out of fuel. I think he put too little fuel in the car on his last pit stop. He's out.
19, he was running in 3rd at the moment. Very, very unfortunate for him. He has run out of gas. We're hearing it over the radio. Pro Boss running out of gas also. A few guys are running out of fuel. They're going to coast back. I'm wondering if that was my first thought. What's going on with Element?
I believe the stage ended.
Oh.
That's the end of the stage. Yeah.
I was going to say, that was crazy. Element getting that stage win, which is really going to help him out. But man, oh man, that caught me off guard. I was like, is everyone running out of gas?
Doesn't seem like it, but that'll Tom able to finish second, and Ramsett, by the misfortune of the 19, he finished third. Big John in fourth, and then Jose, a strong showing tonight. He is fifth at the end of that stage, so he got a decent number of points.
Stage 1 was crazy. The second stage is going to be even crazier. I think we're going to see more aggressive driving, but I feel like we're going to see a lot of the same drivers up here. I think he's going to have a good pit stop. He's going to try to make his way up through the field, and we're going to see him up here shortly, but it's going to get very interesting, guys. Caution free so far tonight. I want to knock on wood. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, we've seen a lot of caution free in the first stage, and then the elbows come out in the second one, but right now the field is so spread out. I don't know if that'll be an opportunity for that. And back to you, Frozen.
We are off to stage 2, and Element is off to a great start. We have Tom directly behind him. Look at these guys going, looks like 3 wide almost for a second there. We have Ramsett in third, Jose in the mix up top in that 24 car. These guys looking really good out there. I'm very impressed, but Tom in the lead so far, but these guys are side by side.
Outside the 38 gets that great launch off the top. The 8 really dives it in there, gets a great launch in the middle of the corner. He's really good in the center, especially on fresh tires. He's going to clear the 38. We're going to have a new leader.
We're going to have a new leader, but Element is not going to sit still, and he dives it down low, getting a great entry. Can he hold it?
The 8's going to get the wall.
Oh,
he's going to get the 2
with
car.
Ramsett. Very, very close. They managed to save it, but that backs up that entire top lane. Tom is going to lose a ton of spots on that. Ramsett moves up to second. Looks like Big John up there. He's going to be in third, but Element, that is what he needed to get Tom away from him.
The 8.
Man, brutal.
Gets the wall again, just trying to give room and just get sucked into the wall. And here he is. God, he's lost a lot of ground back to about, it's like 10th or so, 11th. That is not what he wants. He's not worried about points, so stage points not going to matter, but track position is incredibly important.
Garbage going for second. J-Mac, look at this. I told you guys, do not count him out. He's already up here in second. Ramsett goes back to third. We have side by side for third place. Let's take a look here. Very, very good racing. These guys so talented. But Garbage making his way up here. We've seen it before. This guy has started last a couple of times and made his way up through the field up to first here. Element, he's going to be watching his rear view, I can tell you. He's got a very fast guy directly behind him, and he needs to keep him off of him.
And Garbage is going to be really, really quick, and so far so good for that 6 car. He's kept the car clean, hadn't been in any issues, just ran a good, solid first stage, and now here he is fighting for he's going to be fighting for the lead here pretty quickly. Looks a little tight maybe through the center, but as he gets the wall, and he gets the wall on the inside.
J-Mac, trouble for Garbage. He gets the wall, gets loose, and then hits the inside wall just as quick as he made it up here. That took him out of the leading spots here. Absolutely crazy. And Element, he's relieved right now. I guarantee he saw that. He was watching in his rear view mirror. He's got some nice spacing between him and second place, but that is a hungry pack that is back there behind him. He's just got to keep his line smooth and consistent, and he'll be okay.
Yeah, we're watching that 8 car is working his way back through the field. The 6 had his misfortune. The 8 had a little bit of a tough moment there early on this restart, but he is rebounding back. He's made a few passes, and right now he is sort of stuck behind a big old cluster. That's the one of Turner that he's about to go to the outside of, try to make that move around his outside. The 10 gets the wall just a little bit on entry to 3, and then gets going. The 8 running a really high line, maybe a little too high, not really. Just using every ounce of track he can to make his way back up. You hate to say it, but it seems like he's already lost the stage. Element just needs to be clean, and he'll make it. But the 8 car still second place, definitely in sight right now. He's just going to keep fighting, and he has the best car of any of these drivers here, so it's hard to imagine he won't be able to do it. Jose looking good.
Jose looking good, and Big John thinking about making it 3 wide, but he changed
he
his
ain't
mind
thinking,
on
he's
that.
doing it.
Rams it. Looked like he got a little loose coming off that corner, but man, what a great battle. We have Jose in second place. Tom trying to make his way to third. Very, very close here. Big John, look at, is that garbage already back up here?
No, that's the 41 of Doc.
Okay, I was gonna say, because
bright orange car, yeah.
I just checked on garbage and he was out there by TAC, so I was very curious if that was the case. Speaking of TAC, let's go back here.
That was close.
Making you nervous.
Tom and Jose using exactly 2 car widths of track to run side by side and no more. That was scary.
These guys starting to form a single file line. Ramsey getting loose once again, dives it low, is trying to save it. A great job by him to save it, but man, he's not having the car that he needs to have to bring home a win tonight. He's really got to get that handling under control, but Element, just, this guy's on fire tonight. He's got a great handling car. The consistency is there. I mean, he is just watching the rear view and just seeing everyone battle it out for second. And he's thinking, hey, keep going, because I am just going to keep gapping you guys as you are fighting for position back there.
Yeah, but 24 gets a pretty good launch, got a good drag, a good suck up to the back of that 8 car down the draft, but the 8 just makes up so much ground to the center, gets really loose again, pushing it really, really hard, maybe trying to run a little bit lower of a line than I think the car would like him to, and he's getting loose over that transition in the center of the corner and off of exit, but that 8 car just so good. They can keep up with the drafts, but I think the 38 and the 8 are clearly the class of the field. We haven't seen what the 6 could do, because the moment he got up there, he stuffed it in the wall. So we don't know what garbage has just yet, aside from a couple of beat-up fenders. But if he can work his way back through here, then he can have a shot at this thing in stage 3. But now the 8 and the 38 looking like the 2 best in Homestead.
Absolutely. Jose running that high side. This guy loves the high side. Wherever he can run it, I guarantee you're going to see him up there. Tom still looks like he is getting a little loose off those corners, making me nervous. But man, oh man, he already had that happen once, raced his way back up to second. Just shows you how fast his car is. He's just got to get control of that handling. He's known to run those loose cars, so now he's just got to get it to work for him.
Earlier in the race, I thought that was a testament to how fast he was, that he was able to be so smooth and so quick running that lower line while pinned underneath Element. But it seems that having the full track isn't the advantage that I thought it would be for him, because he's getting super loose trying to use that exit going over that transition in the banking. So that car setup really works. It's a really good race setup. It's a really good setup to run side by side, to be in the pack. He was able to make a lot of moves, but it's almost like he gets by himself, and the car just isn't there for him to use whenever he wants to use that whole track to run sort of hot laps, to run down that 38.
We're out here with Wonder, and we have Garbage passing him up for 9th place. Garbage making some moves. He's got TAC 24, who we saw earlier. He was in 3rd place, so he's trying to make a move with Garbage there. We're going to see those two, probably Garbage trying to make his way through, and TAC is going to follow directly behind him. Johnny Rocket, we're on board with him. He is pretty much, he's got some guys behind him, but not a lot of guys in front of him. He was one, and that was in the driver spotlight tonight. Hoping to have a good race tonight. We'll see what happens, but all these guys are cheering Ramsey on.
Rams it on, but he's stuck at the bottom of 3 wide right now. That's not where you want to be, and I think he just got the wall, maybe, or somebody got in the wall. 43 of Skabowski was the white car that I saw in the wall. That's a tough one for him.
Absolutely, and he's had a lot of good runs lately. So hopefully we can see him
really
move
has.
up. Yeah, hopefully we can see him move up through the field. We see Kipper Foot out here going underneath the apron. Looks like he is going to try to make pit road. I think I heard that we have 20 to go, so we're gonna see these guys probably make some pit stops. Garbage! Whoa, J-Mac, I see cars flipping. Garbage was getting super loose out there. I was able to catch that. He is struggling out here tonight with that. Man, that is going to bring out the yellow here. Let's see if we can get a replay on that, guys.
This car obviously fast, but not very in control.
You guys see it right there. Garbage going sideways by the camera, and then all of a sudden just gets hit, and he's airborne. Absolutely crazy, but that is going to bring out the caution. And here we are. Cozy says, poor Garbage. Yeah, you know what? Such a fast car, but if it does not handle the way it needs to, it's not going to do you much good.
Might get you launched about 20 feet in the air, but
and we had a
I don't think that's the goal here.
Wienermobile up in the air. Oh no. All right, here we go. Back from caution. Our first caution of the night. Element is still the leader here. We have 8 on the outside. That's Tom Flitty. Jose right behind Element, and we have Big John on that outside. These guys looking pretty strong. Hopefully that was a chance for Garbage to make some changes and get it to handle the way he needs it to. We're going to find out as Tom moves back, and man, Ramsey gets slammed to the wall, and that's going to cause a huge pileup going in. I don't know if they saved it, J-Mac. Did they actually save that?
Yeah, they all saved it. They're all still pointed straight somehow, some way.
Wow.
Big ol' amoeba cars that somehow is going to come out of there, but that's some good racing up front.
That is impressive. We have Tom. He
Very
is out there on the outside of Element, trying to make his way out there. He manages to stay behind him, but man, it looks like Big John was going to lose out there. But here comes Tom diving it down low. He's got a nice, huge lead going into that turn.
Oh, he's
a lot of momentum with 15 to
big
go.
Ol' side jump.
Absolutely. This is going to be so close as they're hitting into turn 1. Tom, we're going to see how he handles the outside. Usually these guys are flipped. We have Element on the outside and Tom on the inside. We're going to see what they can do with switching spots here.
Everybody's just pushing so hard. Fresh tires. They see the lead out in front of them. Everyone's on top of each other, and you expect that when the tires are worn for these drivers to start losing control, but they're pushing so hard and they're overestimating their grip, and it's causing some a little bit of issues for some of them. But right now, no issue for that 8, aside from that big blue 38 car that's really being a pest underneath him.
He is being a pest, and I'll tell you what, he is completely by himself down low, and he is holding it like a champ. I'll tell you. That high side, Tom has some nice help. They can get the momentum coming off the corner, but Element is really hanging on there as we see a couple of guys getting loose behind them. That looks like it might be Tack back there behind Jose and possibly the 41. Big John into the wall just a little bit. Yeah, he manages to get it back off, doesn't lose too much. Element, a huge slide job directly in front of Tom. That was insane. Tom dives it down low. Will he return the favor?
That 38 is really good to be able to make that pass on the 8. The 8 couldn't make on him earlier in the race. That 38 of Element really fast. Big John got the wall just a little bit a lap ago, but this time around still able to hang with him, letting off the 8 just a little bit, trying to peek under him maybe a little bit, maybe to take it 3 wide, maybe to find that hole there. Just searching for a run, but man, the 38 making some great speed.
Absolutely. These guys are side by side once again. I don't think I've ever seen the leaders go side by side this many times. Homestead and Kansas. You see a lot of that at Kansas, people trying to pass each other, doing slide jobs. But Homestead is a great track to be able to go side by side. I feel like along with Atlanta, those are two tracks that you can go side by side for a very long time. These guys are making it work here. You see Element on the high side. He still has Big John, who has made his way past Jose. He is currently in third, and now he is moving to second after having a nice push out here. We have Jose in fourth. These guys running really well. Big John going for the lead. He gets nice momentum coming off that turn. TomTom getting loose. These guys are 3 wide. What in the world is going on here? Look at this, 3 wide for the lead. TomTom has some nice momentum coming off the turn. He's gonna slide job across Big John. These guys still 3 wide. J-Mac, this is insane.
That was a very impressive move. He got killed down the straightaway, but to make that move through the center, to be able to hold momentum, to not use up those drivers on top of you, to still maintain grip, and he was pushing so hard. But the luckiest thing that happened to him was Big John hitting the apron, and that slowed the 47 down. Or otherwise, these two probably would have wrecked off the exit with the 8 getting loose. We have ourselves a proper race now. 6 cars, 7 cars, 6 cars. I can't count. 6 cars underneath a blanket. To say it before you got the chance to.
I want to get a replay on this 3 wide. Hopefully the camera will bring it up. But man, oh man, that was insane. I don't think it's going to. I don't think we went back. Didn't have enough time to go back. But that was crazy out there. These guys did a heck of a job, I'll tell you what. Great racing out there to them. A lot of props to them, I'll tell you what. It's really hard to do at Homestead. You get super loose. But we have 7 to go in stage 2. If they want to make it happen for a stage win, get those points, it's coming up shortly. We have Jose in second place, TomTom on the bottom with Tack. We have the 47 up high, that is Big John. These guys very, very tight together.
The 8 just stuck on the bottom line right now. This is the rare moment in this race where the draft seems to be doing a little bit. Everyone has that speed on the other, but the 19 blows the corner. That's going to give the 8 the room he needs, and the 19, he almost lost it, but he gathered it up. The 24 apparently had a similar issue because he just got stuck on the bottom line. Big John up to second.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when he was side by side with Element, I don't know if there was some contact between Jose and Element, but Element got a little loose also along with the 24. So I think he slid up and he had to let way off to try to let him go by. But that got both of those guys a little loose coming off the turn. Jose is going to lose a couple of positions over that one.
And you know Jose is just loving it that this outside line is coming in, that it seems to be sort of the preferred lane. He loves that high line. He sets his cars up to run there, and at a track where you can use that high line to make good lap time, he has to be salivating at that. But right now, he's trying to run down those 2 racing for the lead. The 47 of Big John being nice and racy here. Stage 2 starts to wind to a close.
Yeah, it is coming to a close, but Big John trying to go for that lead. What is the factor here that is consistent throughout? Element. This guy just doesn't seem bothered by anything. He's just running his line and it doesn't seem to faze him too much. He's so consistent out here. If he does not win tonight, I'm going to be very surprised. He just has a very consistent car. 47 kisses the wall just a little bit. That's going to slow him down. Doesn't hurt him too bad. But let's take a look. We have Jose behind him with TomTom. 3 to go, so it is coming down to the wire. We don't see such a huge gap like we saw the end of the last stage.
You don't. The battle for the stage win right now between your Shake and Bake teammate and my eSpark teammate. As I was shouting him out, and he corrected, went down the track.
What happened?
No, Big John. He got super loose on the bottom. Just super loose coming up the track, and just no saving it. The rear end came out. Nothing he could have done. And the 8
That is crazy.
Same exact thing.
A multi-car wreck on the backstretch. Man, such a shame to see for Big John. Having such a great run, making his way through the field, getting up here in second place. It would have been nice to see him have some great stage points. He is one that is fighting for a Final 5 spot. So, hopefully we're going to see him back up here. We're going to find out what it does for points for him, but we're coming up. One to go at the line here. This is the final lap for stage 2. Can Element hold them off? Jose is going to try to go for it. He's got nothing to lose. He's not one of the 9, but he's got a win to get.
Yeah, I don't think Jose not normally the type to run it in there and use the bumper, and I think that's the only way he can make a pass on this 38 car right now. He's going to send it. He's going to try it. He's going to send it down in there, but he's just not going to be able to get anywhere close to being able to pull off the slide job. That thing's sticking pretty well. The 38 gets the wall.
Oh, he still managed to hang on to it. An Element, he wins stage 2. This guy is just on a roll tonight, doing a great job. He takes stage 2. Jose takes second, I do believe, or did the 41 end up taking that? We'll have to see what happened. Great stage 2, and these guys are insane tonight. They are really up in their game.
That's some excellent racing. That time, the first stage, it was a 2-man show with or really a 3-man show to give TAC credit for staying with the 38 and the 8 that first run. But then this last stage, just a 6-7 drivers there with a shot at coming up with a win at the 38. He's able to run by himself, and he's able to run with drivers hounding him. That 38 Ford looking really, really strong tonight.
Very, very consistent. He's shown it all night long. If you guys, you want to tell me who you think is going to win tonight, you've seen the racing so far, let me know in chat, guys. Who do you have winning? I'm going to take a poll. We have our producer, Justin, who says Jose is going to win. Oh, he's actually winning the race off of pit road here. I mistook that, but let's take a look at the start here. We have Jose. Hush. We have Jose coming out as the leader here. We have Element on the high side. We have Doc on that low side. J-Mac, look who's directly next to who's next to Tom Tom. I just gave that one away.
Who is it, Frozen?
It is none other than Garbage. Look at these guys, very stacked up. Man, oh man, a little bit of contact there. It was looking pretty sketchy there. Tom Tom and Garbage making some
big wreck
contact
on the front stretch.
too.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag is out.
37 of Taddier Perron down there in the bottom. His car really beat up. He was one of the drivers involved in that. Looks like the 42 is pretty hurt. A lot of drivers in the back, and that's kind of how this starts. We get in the third stage, and then a lot of racing in the back as they try to there's a lot of drivers that have maybe not had the best of races, had a little bit of misfortune, trying to work their way back to the field, get some extra track position, and this starts happening, and then it starts happening up front. So look for the elbows to come out as these drivers know what's on the line, a shot at the championship at Daytona.
Yeah, penultimate race, things get crazy. We've seen it time and time again. J-Mac has said it a few times tonight where these guys really do well in the beginning stages, and then third stage comes, the final stage, and these guys get crazy. Element, we see him back there just a little bit. Let's find the front of the pack here. I'm trying to find him. Here we go. We have Jose in the front. He's got Garbage directly behind him. A great start, but man, that really shuffled things up. We see Ramsett in the mix. Let's take a look.
Oh,
huge pile
another wreck
right
in the back.
there.
The
Another
19
wreck
involved,
midfield.
the 1 involved.
Man, Element narrowly escapes that one.
Yeah, the 8 able to get through it. I don't know if he was the start of it, or if he was a catalyst in it, or if he just got loose by himself.
J-Mac, it looks like we are staying green. I was waiting for it, but the caution's not coming out. Surprisingly enough, we have Garbage in the lead here. We have another driver against the wall. He is really stacking it back up there. This is crazy.
They're 4 wide, and I just watched Big John rip the top of 1 and 2 and pass about 7 cars in one corner. That was an awesome move by that 47 of John, trying to make up for that mistake to close stage 2, working his way back through the field.
19 is on pit road. You see him back there. We're on board with TomTom. Element is definitely stuck in traffic with TomTom. Proboss gets a little loose. Very, very close there. That is not what you want to see directly in front of you. I'll tell you what. I'm glad I'm not out there. I'm glad I'm right here with the racing.
Oh, and then he gets the wall.
Proboss into the wall.
And he's trying to stick it up in there.
Great job on his end, keeping it off of everybody. But man, I'll tell you what. Our producer Justin says heart palpitations. He is saying it right there. I'll tell you what. If I was Element, that's exactly what I'd be doing right now.
Yeah, we see the 00 had a good qualifying session and was fast early in the race. Really good short run speed, but as the run goes on, that car seems to get really loose, as a lot of these do. And that almost was a big uh-oh moment for that 38 car, who's now trying to go back on the attack.
Element making his way past Jose. I mean, we just saw him a few seconds ago, and he was in line, and this guy is already in second. Jose falling back, but man, Garbage is out there in front. Now, what we have to watch. Does Garbage have the long run car that he needs for the handling? We've seen him lose it here a couple of times, and we're going to have to see if he can hold on to it. We know Element has the long run car. He can hold on to it. He's got the consistency. He's got TomTom directly behind him for the help. So we're going to see what these guys can do, but too wide for the lead here. Too wide for second place. Great racing out here.
Yeah, and the 38 and the 8, they've raced side by side a lot tonight. They've played pretty nicely with each other. That 6 car, not one to play nice. He's really running that 38 close, especially through 3 and 4, using up as much track as he can to keep that 38 down low. And you know he's going to be pushing it hard, which could put people in a bad situation, but it can also help you clear that car and take the lead.
Sure can, and TomTom making some moves. This guy gets out in front of Element, and he is going to go side by side for the lead. We're going to see if he can hold on to it, but just like Element, now he is solo on the low side, and Element's going to make his way past. We're going to see if he stays in line, or will he try to make a move to the inside?
I think right now he's just going to keep it up high, try to stay on behind the 6, because there's really nowhere to go. That 8 down there underneath him. If he tried to make it low, he'd put a big old donut on that gold Chevy, but now he's making his move.
He is making his move, and TomTom being aggressive, trying to get back in that line. He's got a little bit of contact between him and Jose from it, and we have Element out of here running super close to Garbage. Wasn't able to make the pass. He's going to hang out below him. Man, this is crazy, J-Mac. The beginning of stage 3, the final stage, and these guys are just going at it.
Really are. The 8 not really committing to a line. The 24 kind of stuck his nose in there, and the 8 moves up just a little bit, but no harm, no foul. Except maybe Jose doesn't feel that, as he's dangerously close to losing the draft. Now the 8 gets a great run through the center. Oh! We have a new leader.
We have a new leader, and that is Element. Garbage is really testing Element. He is really rubbing against him, trying to squash him up the track, down the track. He's going to try to pull a slide job. Can he do it? No. A little bit of contact. We have TomTom trying to make it 3 wide. Look at this, guys. Second time tonight, 3 wide. TomTom has a beautiful run, and he is able to pull it off for the lead. Garbage falling back. We have Element in second place. I'm surprised TomTom didn't bring that all the way to the high side.
That was probably the smart move to not pull it up. I think the 38 had such a good run. The 8 opting to give him that line. A really, really good racer move. That 8 really, really good at hooking the bottom, and especially under 2 different cars. That's the second time tonight he's made that move and been able to pass the 2 cars he's been getting underneath. He hadn't been able to clear them yet, just from the loss of momentum. But that 8 car is one of the best I've seen at being forced on that low line. It's just, he gets a little bit loose when he tries to use the high line.
He licks that stamp and sends it and hopes that it sticks, and most of the time it has been sticking. He's doing a great job out there. Absolutely incredible. We have Garbage going side by side for the lead once again. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He's really smushing Element out there. Sorry for the lack of better words, but Element almost had some contact with the wall from how bad that he was really sticking him to the wall.
Yeah, he was giving it the old Moordog side draft down the front stretch there. Really pushing up to that 38 car. But Element with the draft from behind, able to keep up the momentum, not really get pulled back by it. The 6 trying everything and getting loose and falls it.
He is in the wall, up, flipping in the air. You guys, this is insane. This is not the first time we've seen it. He just can't hold it. He doesn't have the car for the long run. We've seen it time and time again tonight.
Yeah, just that car, when it tries to race, it's good, but it has just that little bit of evil in it where it wants to snap on him at the worst possible moment. And right there, it got him, and he tried to correct it, and he walled it down to the inside, but he just had so much speed, it just kicked him right back out into traffic, and another big wreck and another liftoff for that 6 car.
I can't imagine being the guys behind him watching that. That is absolutely insane here. One of the remaining factors, though, still Element. And from what I'm hearing, Big John is the one who launched him in the air, but does not have damage from it. That is absolutely incredible. You guys saw it. That was some rough contact, but I do want to give a shout out to Ace24127. Thank you so much for the follow, along with NH4, yeah boy. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. We are off again under green. We have Element. He's leading it here. We have Tom Flitty on the outside. We have Jose directly behind Element. These guys looking strong once again, J-Mac.
They really are. Ooh, Jose wanted to clear that 8 car and get up in front of him, and Tom stayed in the gas and didn't let him have it. Element trying to use the draft a little bit. This is a place where I like having that whole track turned down into. You get a little cute trying to work both sides, and the 38 almost slides up into the wall, able to hold on to it. But this is a place where you have to be on it. You have to be watching out front. If we start doing the play the draft thing, we could see some interesting things happen, I feel like. But this is the longest it's taken for these drivers to get single file. Still 2x2x2. The intensity is definitely ramped up as Big John gets the wall going into turn 3.
Yeah, we're watching Rams out here.
Oh,
It's currently
the 14
running.
finishes
Oh
them
no.
all.
A lot of contact in this final stage here. But Rams that we're watching, he has made his way back up here. He's currently sitting in 4th. We've seen him up in the strong. J-Mac, what is going on back there? You tell us.
Oh, Big John just trying to make his way through the field. He's stuck 4 wide. The 3 got the apron and got up in front of him and then parked it, and he kind of got stuck behind him after getting put in the wall by the 14, I believe, of Wonder. This is just kind of been a theme for I think the 6 is putting the 32, I think, in the wall. Just a lot of aggressive driving here in the middle of the field as things going from bad to worst for a couple of our front runners.
This midfield, I can't even imagine trying to drive this right now. We're on board with Turner, and we've seen a lot of contact ahead of him, and he just sent it in there going side by side. Manages to come out ahead of the car that he was going side by side with.
Yellow flag.
Man, oh man, that was crazy.
Chance to breathe.
Chance to breathe is right. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Yeah, Element is still out front there. How many cautions is this? Third one, maybe?
I think this is only the 3rd legit one. I mean, we have the 2 stage breaks.
Right, which considering how close these guys are racing and how much contact, it's actually very, very good. Incredible racing out here. We did see a huge pile up earlier with no caution. This is going to allow them to catch back up again.
Some pitch strategy, or some accidental pitch strategy, is we have 3 drivers. So,
everyone did pit, so this is just purely strategy. We have Expert Toaster out here in the front. He was running a nice paint scheme out here. We have the 12 directly behind him. Let's take a look at who that 12 is. I do believe if I'm Sean for life,
Sean
if I'm
for
not,
life.
if I'm not mistaken. We have Tom Tom side by side. Man, it is looking so sketchy back there, J-Mac. What is going on?
Well, we have 2 cars that stayed out, or didn't stay out, but they took, I guess, 2 tires there, and the 12 gets the wall. He's taking the, not the line you want to take, as he's stuck. Oh, God, they're all wrecked, trying to wreck in the back again. But this is a place where you lose so much time. The car gets so unstable, or has the opportunity to get so unstable. I would never put only 2 tires on this thing. But right now, the Expert Toaster, he's made up some ground, and he's holding on. If he can just hang on to this group here, that would be a good move. But I have a bad feeling he's about to get drop kicked.
24 to go this time around. Once we hit the line, Tom Tom in the lead. We have Element directly behind him. Toaster falls back to third. Ramsey kind of getting stuck in traffic there. We see Jose in the mix. Very, very crazy, but man, look at that field behind him, J-Mac. Such close racing, 2 and 3 wide all the way through. These guys are crazy back here.
They are, and they're using up every ounce of the track, and they're using each other up too, trying to work their way through the field. Right now, the 51 of AKA Johnny Rocket, shout out to him. He is running in the 8th spot, it looks like, or the 7th spot. Either way, that's a solidly into the top 10 here early on in this run. The car looks like it's pretty good. Now, if it can hang on for the long run, that's another thing to be determined. But right now, with some of the jumbling of the field that's gone on, 51 finds himself lurking and trying to work at the top 5.
We saw 21 getting loose off that corner. He dove it down pretty low, trying to save it.
Oh,
man, everything going crazy around Johnny Rocket. We have the 6, gives him... Johnny Rocket just completely stuck there. That was crazy. J-Mac, it looks like we have another caution.
We have another caution. The 47 of Big John again loses it, just pushing so hard. Just this third stage has been a bit of a nightmare for that 47 car. Well, ever since losing it off of turn 2 at the end of that stage, at the end of stage 2, he had a shot at a lot of points. Since then, he's been trying to work his way through the field, He has a great car, but right now just pushing it maybe just a little too hard, and that's putting him in some issues. He's getting some damage. It's changing the balance of that car from things that aren't his own, but that's just the product of being in the middle of this pack, in the middle of this field with some of these drivers that are back there.
Absolutely. We have a new leader out here. We have the 24 of Jose. He is going to lead us off to the green run here. We have Tom Tom Flitty on the outside. We have Element behind Jose in that 38. It's going to be very, very close, but Expert Toaster, you see him in the mix. He's directly behind Tom Tom. This guy, we've seen him out front quite a few times for these races this season. Pretty cool to see him out there.
It is, and like we just heard, and as our producer pointed out, that strategy call ended up being a really good one. That netted him several positions. Now he's in the 8, trying to turn with 8 tires up against the wall, and that's not working out for him. But really, no harm, no foul. I don't think there was really any damage, and I think they kind of made it out of there. But a new player up in the top 5, the 1 of Turner. Haven't seen him this far up all race long. He's in the mix for the win now, trying to hold on to that 6 car and draft with him and maybe follow him up to the field, but they are still side by side for the lead, and Jose has that 38 car right where he wants him, running that high line.
Absolutely. Tedeschi is out there saying rough night for garbage. We've seen him flip more times than I think he wants to be flipping, but somehow he's made his way back up here, and here he is. Absolutely. It's incredible. I don't know about you, J-Mac, but I am seeing some cars getting a little laggy, a lot of surging going on.
Thing.
Yeah, I don't know if they're seeing that on their screen, but that is going to add to the mix of difficulty out here. It's going to make things very interesting. And from what I'm hearing from my producer, Justin, he says if this goes green, it's going to be very close on fuel. We're going to have to watch it, guys. These guys can get 20 on a fuel run, maybe a little more. But we're going to see some guys possibly run out of fuel. We have garbage all over the back bumper of Element. Jose by himself on that outside. He's got Tom Tom behind him. But man, oh man, these guys are really, you can cover them with a blanket right now. Extremely close as garbage is just really testing these guys on the high side, not giving any room whatsoever.
Really not. And just to piggyback on your point a second ago, this is a place where you could be very, very aggressive with the fuel saving, but you either have to have the gear for it, or you just have to know how to do it and need the draft. So these drivers out here leading, if fuel comes into play, it's going to be tough for these guys to be able to save enough to make it to the end. The way they are racing, if they're not drafting with each other, but they're racing really hard, and that's entertaining for us. Steve Haight almost loses it again on the bottom.
These guys are making me so nervous. I'm telling you, they're absolutely crazy. I'm getting ready to start the poll here, but I'll tell you what, Element is still out there in front. This guy, just make sure that everyone knows that he is here. From what I'm hearing, we did have a wreck on the front
20
stretch.
of Rocky
but...
Top
Oh no.
involved.
Yeah.
And the 21 of Little Wing.
Really unfortunate to see.
And
We're gonna... Oh God.
we just lost the one of Turner. He got loose, got down to the wall. He had a good run going there at the end, but just got really loose off of turn 4. These drivers just, they ride for most of the race, and then they get to racing, and the car is just really, really loose.
Yeah, as J-Mac said, Big John was involved, and he was having a pretty good run here tonight. But you guys, vote on the poll, see who the driver of the race is. Element is already being voted on. He's been voted on multiple times. We have Garbage being voted on. This guy has wrecked, flipped even, and raced his way back up to the front.
Oh, the 38 overdrove it, got the wall.
Jose does a slide job, is able to hold it off with Element getting in the wall, rams it getting loose off the turn. We have a new leader, and that is Jose in that 24, but Tom Tom is trying to make something happen with it, sending it in there. He's got Garbage right behind him, and I am just seeing lag.
It looks good on my street, so maybe it's just a little caution issue that we're experiencing. But that 8 car has been one of the best at diving it in there on the bottom. Just trying to clear that 24. He just hasn't been able to make that pass whenever there's been only one car. He's been great at it when there's 2 above him. Like, he takes it 3 wide underneath him and is able to clear both of them. But right now, with the help of the 6 trying to push him, as we're hearing, there's another wreck in the back and no yellow flag from it.
Yeah, I'm hearing there's another wreck. I saw the 21 of Little Wing. He was a driver spotlight. He was against the wall. I'm not sure what happened with him. He looked like he made an unscheduled pit stop not too long ago, so I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. We do have a car coming out. That looks like, if I'm not mistaken, that is Turner, if that's the one car. So he is coming off of pit road. But this battle side by side for the lead, we have Jose. He is currently falling back as these guys are getting a heck of a run. They're trying to pull it out directly in front of Jose. Will they be able to keep it? Element trying to make something happen with a huge run. He gets behind Tom Tom. Garbage moves to the high side.
Yeah, but now we're seeing those 4 cars, they're racing each other so hard, and they're still pulling away from the rest of this pack. The 2 of Ramset, the 10 of Toaster kind of stuck with each other with the 41 of Doc in tow. Then you have that next group behind them, or it looks like the 19 of Tack, and then the 51 of Johnny Rocket hanging on.
Garbage into the wall. J-Mac. Garbage got into the wall, almost took out Element with him. Wasn't able to save it. We have 8 to go. I don't know if that's going to bring out a caution, and here it is. The caution
finally
is
a
out.
Yellow. Ooh.
Absolutely insane. Let's take a look
And
if we can get a replay on that. There it is, guys. You see it. Garbage gets loose, hits the wall, bounces off, hits Element, and he is just done.
Yeah, and it looks like the 6. He is now on pit road. I believe he warped to pit road. I believe he called it, or maybe was called to end it. That the 6 car was fast all night long, but that's I believe the 3rd time he's gotten up to the front and wiped out. So just really unfortunate for him. Really fast car, just had a little too much evil in it.
Absolutely. Ranger says you hate to see it, and I'll tell you what, we've said it a couple of times. He's had a fast car, but just too loose. We have Tom. He's going to lead us off to green with only a few laps to go for this race. It's coming down to the wire, and Element's going to have to make something happen if he wants to pull off his first win of the season. This is also his first season racing for AKA. Tom has a nice little lead coming off the green here. He's going to put it right in front of Element. Element is going to see, and we're going to see if he can bring it down low. These guys are single file so far, though.
Yeah, I don't think this is what that field wants. The 8 and the 38 hooked up a couple of laps here to pull away and then battle it out amongst themselves. With the 38, he's not going to try to work with that 8. He's going to look to the inside immediately, try to get the lead.
4 to go at the line. We see Proboss getting a little loose back there, but these guys are going side by side once again for the lead. We've seen it all night. Has a huge run on that inside, pulls it off right in front of Tom for a slide job. He holds on to it. We have Expert Toaster making his way. Yeah, we have a couple more contact going on in the field here. We're going to see if it stays green. If we hit this, it's going to be 3 to go at the line. Not much longer to go, guys.
The way they're all bouncing off of each other, I don't see how we get another yellow. The middle of the pack racing super hard. Element taking that lead from the 8 car. Jose trying to, but I don't know what he has for those 2 up in front of him.
We're gonna find out. We're coming up on 2 to go. Element has won. The most votes was 66% for the driver of the race, and much deserved. We're gonna find him as he comes around. 2 to go. It's gonna be interesting to see if Tom has it. Tom is not one of the playoff drivers. He has nothing to lose, as we see. I think that's Tack back there getting super loose.
One to go.
Yeah, white flag. This is the final lap, guys. Element still in the lead. Tom directly behind him. We have Jose in third. Who is that in fourth? Is that Expert Toaster still?
That's Expert Toaster hanging on in fourth with Doc in fifth. A very strong fifth for him. The 8 car, the only option he has is to send it. Will he be able to get to him?
He's gonna have to send it, but Element, I feel like, is blocking him just a little bit, guarding that low side. Here we come across the line. Element is gonna be your winner at Homestead Miami Speedway. First race of the season that he has won. Great job to him. That locks him in to next week at Daytona for the fight for the championship. We have Element, Tom, and Jose for the top 3. Let me look. It looks like the 41 might have captured 4th, and Expert Toaster for 5th. We're going to have to get these guys into the booth. Great job. From what I'm hearing, Expert Toaster actually took home 4th, and Doc took home 5th. Great job to those guys. A fantastic top 5 finish. A crazy night for garbage, J-Mac. I don't know about you, but I've never seen someone flip so many times in a race and make their way back up to the front.
Yeah, he had a great car, and he was great working his way through the field and kind of strategizing his way and making the right moves. But then once he got to the front, racing with these guys, the 38, the 8, the 24, some of these drivers who were constant fixtures up there and who had cars equal with his, at the very least, just couldn't hold on to it. The thing just kept getting away from him, and that's what we talked about pre-race. You got to have a car that's stable around people. You got to be able to race hard because it's tough to pass here, and the more you push your car, the worse positions you can put yourself in, and it eventually bit him several times. It didn't eventually bit him; it bit him multiple times.
All right, we have the top 3 is Element, Tom, and I do believe Jose. So we'll get these guys in the lobby here. Great race for these guys. Kid Tubby says, I hate follow the leader. This was definitely not follow leader. These guys were crazy, giving it their all. Element with the first win of the season here. Congratulations to you, Element. How was your car out there tonight?
Pretty good. Stage 1 a little loose, tighten it up a bit. Got back in my corners up a little bit more, going center, and it's great off the corner. It was a rocket. Very happy with it.
It was a rocket, and I feel like you were very consistent. You said it held off great in the corners. A lot of guys we saw getting loose out there, but I don't think I saw you get loose at all, honestly. So were you a little nervous when you saw Tom Tom making his way back up here, or were you confident in how your car was handling out there?
Yeah, I was very nervous. Yeah. Tommy's always bad fast, so you can never write him out,
Absolutely.
And he was dicing up. We put on a hell of a show tonight. That was a really good race. I'm still like, whoa. No, it was an exciting race.
I gotta ask, when you were out there next to Garbage, did you see him wreck, and what were you thinking?
Which one? Talking about turn 4? No, there was one where it was on the inside of me.
There were two.
No,
yeah.
there was.
They were both up turn 4, I think.
More than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but I know that there was one where it was right next to you, and I'm pretty sure I would have saw my light flash before my eyes.
I did. I was on the outside coming out of 4, and he was just on the inside doing his thing, and next thing I know, I just see him go off and hit the inside wall. I'm like, what the hell?
We have some nice video of him in the air, so what I'm curious about for him is if he's going to be able to make it with the stage points that he's got. Can he make it onto Daytona? But Element, this punched your ticket to Daytona, so we'll see you next week for the race for the championship. There is a trophy on the line, but not only that, there is a year's subscription to Xbox, and I'm sure all these guys would love to have one. So I have to ask Element one last question for tonight. How do you feel about your chances at Daytona? I know you love your super speedways.
Not good. Not good. I'm not a fan of super speedway racing. So we'll see how it goes. Just go out there and just try to run a clean race without getting in any trouble or getting in someone else's trouble. That's one thing about restriction. You got to watch out for all the things around you. So that's going to be the hard part.
Yeah, it's going to be about survival, and there's a championship on the line. So you got your hands full, but if anyone can do it, you're one of them that can. So congratulations to you tonight on the win. First win of the season. Awesome job to you. And I got to let you know, you did get driver of the race tonight. So congratulations on that also.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, J-Mac, you want to bring in second place and give him an interview?
Absolutely will. Element it looked like the fastest car, but Tom was one of the most fun to watch. Not once, but twice. He took it 3 wide on the bottom, ripping that white line, trying to make the pass for the lead. Really fun to watch all night. Looked a little bit loose. Talk about your race tonight.
Yeah, I was telling Element right after the race because we were in the same party. I just was lucky to be up there with him because he obviously had the fastest car. Garbage had a quick car too, but he just a little inconsistent there coming off the corners. Every once in a while he'd get super loose, but I tried to keep it interesting for everybody watching. I hope it was fun for you guys to watch
because
it was fun for us to race.
It was very fun.
It was a blast out there.
Yeah, the multiple laps of y'all side by side, that was some of the most action we've seen all season. Just consistently, you two and most importantly, taking care of each other. That was the most fun of it. Y'all two were racing hard and still pulling away from the rest of the field. You two were on another level, especially in that first stage before other guys seemed to get some adjustments in. So, talk about that run to the finish, that last restart. Just talk about it. I don't know. I went blank through my question.
I thought I was in a really good spot, because obviously I restarted in first on that last restart. Luckily, we got a good pit stop and we were able to get out in first. And obviously, anytime you can start first, especially at a track like this, 1.5 miles with the draft being so strong, that's going to help you out the most. So I was happy to be in that spot, and then just everybody behind us with the draft being so strong. Like I said, somebody got in the back of me, and it was on from there. So I was just trying to play catch up, and I just couldn't get back there. I wanted to get to his bumper and see what I could do, but definitely didn't want to wreck him for the win. Just wanted to put on a good show and hopefully get another win. But second place is pretty good, I guess. Element got his first win in AKA, so that's pretty sweet. So definitely congratulations. And like I said, I had a blast out there, and I hope it was fun for everybody else to watch here at home. So on to the next one.
Nah, y'all two put on a great show, and a lot of other drivers did. Our third place finisher got up there, and mixed it up. There were a lot of fun drivers to watch. Y'all up front were putting on a heck of a show, minus a couple, but still a great race. Well done on the second place. Well done on being up at the front for most of the dang thing, and once again, thanks for letting us watch that. That was fun.
Definitely. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
It was a heck of a show, absolutely. And we have Jose. He is in the booth. This guy, he said he was back and he had a great car once he took a break, and he's done just that. We've seen you race out there in the front, making your way through the field. How was your car tonight?
Car was pretty good. It was the same setup I used on eSparks a couple weeks ago.
Was it?
So I knew I had the Highline going. I was expecting this race not as many people to be up top, but there were more than I expected.
You would have preferred.
But yeah, but no, I started 13th, worked up to I think about 5th in stage 1. I think because a couple people ran out of gas, and then stage 2, running with Element. I knew I couldn't pass him by myself, so I'm like, you know what, let me try this slide job on the last corner. It didn't work. I kind of threw it in there full throttle, but I'm like, I'm not gonna make this. So let off, hit the gas, or hit the brake. Made sure I didn't put him in the wall. But ended up making somewhat of a side-by-side finish to stage 2. And then stage 3, that was just a lot of fun. Battling with, I think the top 6 were up there, and then dropped to 4. It was crazy. But I know that last restart, I had to get out of the gas. I think Toaster hit Tom in the quarter panel, so I had got off the gas. I didn't want to hit Toaster and then wreck myself, so I let off the gas, and I had lost Elements in Tom's draft, but overall, a pretty fun race.
It looked really fun out there, and you guys had a lot of close racing, some contact, a lot of bumping and racing going on, but great job to you out there. Top 3. Element, he is the only one that's in the booth right now that is one of the top 9, so it's going to be very interesting to see who moves on to Daytona next week. We'll have to find out and see who are your final 5 for the championship. But next week, we will be back, same time, same day, Sunday at 8:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going super speedway racing for the championship, a trophy on the line, and a year subscription to Xbox Live. So it's going to get crazy, guys. But thank you for tuning in. Justin and J-Mac, thank you for always being there in the booth. You guys are awesome, and thanks Element, Jose, and Tom for the awesome racing tonight. You guys are crazy.
Yeah, you should have heard Tom. He's like, I'm just going to send it. And he sent it already.
I mean, like I said, he licked that stamp and sent it.
Oh, yes, he did.
He wasn't lying.
One of them.
It was pretty awesome, though. You guys did awesome. But yeah, that's it tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know these guys appreciate it. And J-Mac, it's always fun, dude.
It is indeed. That was a fun race to watch, and thanks for letting me hang out in the booth with you and run my mouth off a little bit.
All right, I know these guys have another race coming up. It's insane, so I won't keep you. Same time, same day. We said it earlier, but have a great night, and thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys. Element, your first win. Yay. You should have wrecked him. Oh my god. You guys are funny. It was a good race though.